Hi, this is a short tutorial on how to create tests in Blackboard. In your Blackboard course shell, under Course Management, one of the options that you'll see is something called Course Tools. If you click on that, it will expand and show you more options. One of those is something called Tests, Surveys, and Polls. If you click on it, it will bring up some choices. You have the ability to create tests, which are sets of questions that are graded to measure student performance. Surveys, which are not graded and student responses are anonymous. And polls, which allow you to create questions that you can later add to a variety of tests that you're using. If you click on Test, you will see a list of the tests you've already created. One of the options at the top of the page is something called Build Test. When you click on that, it will allow you to enter the information for the test you're looking to create. The name is something that you have to put, and the little star, orange star, indicates a required field. A description is not necessary, but you can put something in there as well. And instructions that you want students to follow. Once you're done, you hit Submit. This brings you to the test canvas. This allows you to create the questions that you want for the test. By hovering over the Create Question button, it brings up a menu of the different types of questions that we have available. There are questions in form of essays, there are fill in the blanks, there are multiple choice and multiple answer, short answer and true or false, pretty much any kind of questions that we would like to create in a test. If you would like to create a multiple choice question, you click on multiple choice. Here, it's the question text that's important. Once you type the question text, you can then type in the answers. Now, by default, it shows 4 answers that you can choose from. You have the ability to type in the answers for each of them. Or you can actually ignore one of them if you don't want to. So if you only have 3 choices for your question, you can leave the 4th one blank and the system will automatically remove it. You also have the ability to add more answers to it. It goes anywhere from 4 to 99 questions or 100 possible answers. You also have the ability to number the answers. You have the ability to select the orientation and whether you would like to allow partial credit or not. Show answers in random order can be important because students will see the answers differently. So one student may see 1801 as the first response, but a different student may see 1812 as the first response. Once you decide on which one is the correct answer, you click the checkbox next to it and you hit Submit. It asks you, since I left the last one blank, it says one or more answers are blank and will be deleted when the question is saved, which is just fine. So I'm going to click OK. And here's my question that I created. A different type of question that we can use is a true-false question. And if I click this, again, I have to enter a question text. I have the ability to select whether the answer is true or false, and whether I want to provide any kind of feedback to the students after they take the test so that they can see if they got it right, why they got it right, if they got it wrong, why they got it wrong. Once I'm done, I hit submit again, and it inserts the question. Now, by default, all questions are assigned 10 points, but it might not be what you're looking for. So you have the ability to update the points for each question by either clicking on the number next to the question and selecting the amount of points that you want. You also have the ability to assign the points directly to all of the question or to a specific question type. So if I click select all, it will select all of the questions, and then I can update the points for all the questions by clicking the update button. I also have the ability to just select questions based on type, so I can select the multiple choice questions, or I can select the true and false questions, or whatever other question types I may have, and change the amount of points just for those particular questions. Yet one more option that I have is to create an essay question. And if I click on that, I can type the text for the question. I can provide the example for correct response if I want to. I can even add a rubric for my essay. And then I can click submit. So now my test is complete. I will change the points to the essay question. And click OK when I'm done. And here's my test. Now, to make the test available to students, I go into one of my folders. I go to the Assessments button, select Test, select the test that I want to, and click Submit. This will again show me the description, and here I have a few options that I can choose as I'm setting the test up for students. I can allow multiple attempts. I can force completion, which means that once the test is started, it has to be completed in one sitting. This is not a recommended setting because if the student gets kicked out of the test and they need to go back in to finish it, if something happens to their internet, they won't be able to start again. So you will have to actually go in and edit the test to make it available for them. So I would really consider leaving this choice off. But you do have the ability to set a timer. Generally speaking, to reduce cheating, best practices says that if you have a test that's made up of multiple choice, you should probably allow about a minute per question. That way students don't have enough time to look it up. You have the ability to restrict when the test is available to students. And you have the ability to add exceptions. This is where you can add an exception for students with disabilities. So if you have a student who needs extended time, you can select that student from the list of students in the course, and you have the ability to change that timer to reflect the extended time that that student is allowed. You have the ability to include the test in the grade center calculations, and also you have the ability to select when students see certain feedback. So they can see, you can decide whether you want to show them what they got right and what they got wrong, or the score for their questions. You can select when you want them to see that. You can have them see one type of feedback after they submit the test, and you can have them after the test is completed and everything has been graded, you can show them all of their answers and what they got correct and what they got incorrect, and also what feedback you put into each question. You have the ability to change whether you want them to see one question at a time or all of the questions being on the test page at once. And you also have the ability to prohibit backtracking, which means they can't go back and change an answer to a question they've already answered. That's, again, probably not something that's recommended. You do have the ability to randomize the questions, which means that student A will see question 1 as being the true and false question that I just created. Student B will see the multiple choice one. Student C may see the essay. So you have the ability to randomize what they're seeing so that, again, it reduces the potential for cheating and the potential for communicating between the students and coming up with the same answer. Once you're done, you hit submit, and the test is inserted into Blackboard. When the time becomes that the test is available, students just click on it, and they have the ability to begin it and go through the questions and submit.